right, so we're gonna mix up some investment mix. We have our gated and vented mold and everything. And it's got tape around it. I've sealed the bottom with some electrical tape. Can't see the gating and venting in there, but that's in there. That's ready. And then, so I usually just eyeball this, like I do plaster, but we will mix it up to the ratios. And so for our 3-inch diameter by 4-inch tall flask, if I weigh it out, usually I just eyeball it, it should be about 24 ounces of powder by weight, and powder by investment mix, which is a plaster and silica mix. It shouldn't just be plaster. If you just use plaster, it won't hold up to the heat in the kiln. So you want to use investment mix, or you can make your own plaster, and probably about anywhere from 1 part plaster to 1 part silica flour, or even up to 2 parts silica flour. For larger molds, I would use sand instead of silica flour. Anyhow, for small jewelry molds, silica flour. But when you're working with that stuff, you want to wear a dust mask. It's not good to breathe in silica, can damage your lungs. Anyway, so what did I say? 24 ounces of powder, and we want to take into account the weight. This isn't the greatest scale in the world, I know, but good enough for me. So before I mix up my water and powder together, my investment, this is the vacuum caster. This side is used for investment, making the molds, and this side over here is for vacuum casting the molds after they've been fired and we have molten metal we're pouring into them. The one at school is bigger, but anyway, this works for us pretty well. Basically, you release the vacuum before you turn it off. When it's running, there's a pump inside. You have to make sure we have oil in it. Gives you the pressure right here. So usually what people will do, you'll mix up your investment, you'll put it in here, you'll vacuum it, put the dome over it, see the pressure rise, have it set to investment table, and you'll see the plaster start to bubble, and for about 20 seconds after that or so, you let it go. And then you pour it into your mold. Now, a lot of people put the mold back on here. You should. That's the process. And vacuum the mold too, so that'll bubble a little bit. I've had problems with things coming apart. Maybe it's just the molds that I've used are weird. But anyway, I skip that second step. You'll be less likely to have bubbles on it if you follow that second step. Anyway, so I'm gonna mix up the plaster. Investment, just like you would mix up, similar to mixing up plaster. So I'm gonna sift this in. Again, dust mask. I'm going to hold off on all of it. Mix that up. This very special stick. And you should put all of it. And I'm using cold water so it sets slower. Warm water will make it set faster. A whisk works nicer. This is cool. Splashing all over myself. Alright. Then dome over. Make sure it sort of fits over the rubber thing here. Down. A little bit of a shot of that. Turn the power on. Set it to see the pressure rising. And this is such a, I don't know if you can see. So you can see the plaster is, or the investment mix, Joe, say the right word, is bubbling. I'm gonna let that go for about 20 seconds. So I'm gonna pour it gently down one side of the mold into the mold flask. So we could re-vacuum the flask, but I'm choosing not to. And then we'll let this cure overnight, and then we will steam it out, and then it will go into a burnout oven for a cycle until all the wax is burned out and all the moisture's on the mold, and then we'll pour molten metal into them.